Philadelphia 76ers are officially postseason bound after a clutch 109-97 victory over the Orlando Magic. But the drama is just beginning because NBA skills coach Drew Hanlen is firing back at analyst Skip Bayless for spreading wild rumors about star center Joel Embiid. Bayless claimed Embiid was cleared to play, but chose to sit out, a story Hanlen called 100% false and a blatant reach for clicks.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
With the 76ers now set to face the Boston Celtics in the first round, the biggest question remains the status of Joel Embiid. ESPN insider Shams Charania reports that the team is preparing to start the series without their MVP, as he recovers from emergency appendectomy surgery. While he made a surprise appearance at the arena to support his teammates, experts warn that this type of procedure typically requires a multi-week recovery window. It has been a massive turnaround for Paul George and the rest of the Philadelphia roster after a miserable campaign last year. George described the journey as incredibly tough, but credited the group for rallying through adversity to earn their spot. Team leader Tyrese Maxey was also vocal about his pride in getting the team over the hump, especially for younger players and newcomers who had never experienced the intensity of the NBA playoffs before. The stage is now set for a heavyweight clash as the 7th-seeded 76ers prepare to take on the 2nd-seeded Boston Celtics starting this Sunday. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and Kelly Oubre Jr. will need to replicate their high-scoring heroics if they hope to upset a dominant Boston squad while waiting for health updates on their star center. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update as this playoff series unfolds. Ever wonder how far some pundits will go just to spark a headline? Well, Skip Bayless might have just set a new bar for absurdity. In a move that has the basketball world shaking its heads, Skip recently claimed on Gil's Arena that Joel Embiid was actually cleared to play in the 76ers high-stakes play-in game against the Magic, but essentially chose to sit out. Let me be clear. Embiid just underwent emergency surgery for appendicitis. We're talking about an internal procedure that requires genuine recovery time, not a minor bruise. But according to Skip's mysterious sources, the MVP was healthy enough to go. He just didn't want to. It's the kind of inflammatory take that drives clicks, but it completely ignores the reality of human biology. Enter Drew Hanlen, Embiid's longtime skills coach and a man who actually knows what's going on behind the scenes. He didn't mince words, firing back on social media and calling the claim 100% false, while rightfully dragging the media culture that prioritizes engagement over truth. Honestly, it's refreshing to see someone call out the unnamed source playbook for what it is. Despite the noise, the reality is much more grounded. Nick Nurse even expressed surprise that Embiid was mobile enough to show up to the arena at all, let alone sit on the bench. As the Sixers prepare for a brutal first-round matchup against the Celtics, one thing is certain. They need their superstar healthy, not scapegoated by sports television narratives. What do you think? Is this just another example of haters gonna hate? Or are we giving these hot takes too much oxygen? Drop a comment below, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep the conversation going. At the end of the day, no ring is worth the health of a human being, regardless of what the talking heads say. What does a deep playoff run look like when your biggest star is sidelined? For the Philadelphia 76ers, that isn't just a hypothetical. It is the brutal reality staring them in the face as they prepare for a high-stakes showdown against the Boston Celtics. We finally have some clarity on Joel Embiid's status, and unfortunately, it's not the news Philly fans were hoping for. Shams Charania confirmed that the Sixers are bracing for battle without their MVP-caliber center for at least the start of this first-round series. Embiid is just a week removed from surgery for appendicitis, and while seeing him back on the bench at the arena during the play-in game was a positive sign, the medical reality is sobering. We are talking about a major abdominal procedure, not a sprained ankle. This update should finally put an end to the ridiculous rumor mill. You might have seen Skip Bayless claiming that Embiid was cleared, but choosing not to play, a narrative that Embiid's trainer, Drew Hanlen, quickly and rightfully blasted as complete nonsense. It's a frustrating reminder of how some media figures will prioritize clicks over actual medical facts, regardless of how much damage it does to a player's reputation. So what does this mean for the Sixers? Honestly, it's a massive uphill battle. Even with a healthy Embiid, the Celtics are a juggernaut that has historically had Philadelphia's number. Without him, the task shifts from difficult to nearly impossible. Boston's defense is ranked fourth in the league, and they are elite on the glass, a major weakness for these Sixers. While Tyrese Maxey and Paul George managed to survive the Orlando Magic, the Celtics are a completely different animal. You can't rely on ISO-heavy hero ball against a defensive unit as disciplined as Joe Mazzulla's. Looking at the historical data, NBA injury expert Jeff Stotts notes that players typically miss around 23 days after an appendectomy. That timeline suggests Embiid could be out for a while, meaning the Sixers have to find a way to stay competitive and keep their season alive through sheer grit if they want to give him even a window to return. It's a tough spot to be in, but at least the uncertainty is gone, allowing the team to prepare for the reality at hand. Can Philly pull off the miracle, or is this series destined to be another chapter in the Celtics' dominance over their rivals? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. And if you want the latest updates on this series, make sure to hit that subscribe button and follow us for all the breaking news. Remember, in the NBA, the game isn't over until the final buzzer sounds, but the road ahead for the Sixers is looking steeper than ever. Have you ever seen a team rise from the ashes of a complete disaster? Last season, the Philadelphia 76ers weren't just bad. They were abysmal, finishing with a brutal 24-58 record that left the entire city searching for answers. Fast forward to now, and the turnaround is nothing short of incredible. Despite battling a familiar sting of injuries that threatened to derail them all over again, the Sixers officially punched their ticket to the postseason with a gutsy 109-97 victory over the Orlando Magic. And here is the kicker. They did it without Joel Embiid on the floor. For Paul George, who signed that massive 4-year, $212 million deal, this moment hits different. After being limited by injuries for 2 consecutive years, George finally gets to taste the intensity of the playoffs in a Sixers uniform. As he put it, it is about moving past the noise and focusing on the fact that they have officially given themselves a chance. But let's be real, the job isn't finished. In fact, it just got a whole lot harder, as they are heading straight into the buzzsaw that is the Boston Celtics at TD Garden this Sunday. It is the ultimate test of their newfound resilience. Behind this turnaround is the heart and soul of the team, Tyrese Maxey. Maxey took it personally this year, making a vow to veteran Kyle Lowry that he simply wouldn't let him miss out on the postseason again. He didn't just do it for the vets. He did it for the young guys like VJ Edgecombe and the rest of the crew who had never experienced the playoffs before. It is that kind of leadership that defines a locker room. But now, that promise faces its toughest challenge yet in Boston. Are the Sixers truly ready to shock the world, or will the Celtics prove to be too much to handle? Smash that subscribe button and let me know your predictions for the series in the comments below. In the end, regular season records are just numbers. The playoffs are where legends are forged. Stop everything, because the Philadelphia 76ers just proved they aren't going down without a fight. In a gritty 109-97 win against the Orlando Magic, Philly punched their ticket to the NBA playoffs. But there is a major catch, and it is a big one. Superstar Joel Embiid is currently sidelined following emergency surgery to remove his appendix, and the timeline for his return is looking hazy at best. With Embiid out, the spotlight shifted to the supporting cast, and they absolutely delivered. Tyrese Maxey was electric, dropping 31 points, while VJ Edgecombe bullied the boards for a double-double. Add in Kelly Oubre Jr.'s lethal three-point shooting and Andre Drummond's hustle, and you have a team that refuses to fold under pressure. But here is where the reality check hits. As the number 7 seed, the Sixers are walking straight into a buzzsaw. They are set to square off against their long-standing arch-rivals, the Boston Celtics, in a first-round series that starts April 19. Can Philly survive the Garden without their MVP candidate? It is a massive uphill battle. Game 1 tips off at 1 p.m. on ABC, so make sure you clear your schedule for that showdown. The full series schedule is locked in, taking us all the way through a potential Game 7 on May 2. It is going to be a fascinating test of depth and coaching, but make no mistake, the path to the second round just became a mountain to climb. Drop a comment below. Do you think the Sixers can pull off the upset without Embiid, or is Boston simply too much to handle? Hit that subscribe button to stay on top of every update in this series, because in the NBA playoffs, the story changes with every single possession.